Omni Hotel, February 23rd to 25th in Nashville. Looking forward to spending some time with Kirsty Krause and Jeff McMahon here. Yours truly, Brandon Morrell here on the Backstage Pass, presented by our good friends over at Bangtail Whiskey, Hank Jr. Productions, and, of course, our good friends over at MitchMax.com. Check it out because we got some coffee mugs and a whole bunch of cool stuff there. Backstage Pass swag, as Jeff likes to say. So get your swag on at MitchMax.com online store, and definitely you can have a lot of fun there too as well. So CRS is already booking up. Thanks to Jesse G for coming by today on the show, and of course our good friend Walker Hayes spent some time with us earlier today on the Backstage Pass promoting his new album, which comes out tomorrow. So be sure and check that out across all the digital platforms. So we get fancy like here on the program. I love that song. It's good stuff out there. Brandon Morrell, Kirsty Krause, and pleased to welcome in. I tell you what, I love this guy. And the first time I heard his music, I said, we definitely got to have this guy on the show. Noah Guthrie joins us here on the program. New album is called Blue Wall across all the digital platforms. Noah, what's going on, man?
Man, nothing much. Just trying to stay warm and, just staying busy. Thanks for having me.
Congratulations on your album release.
Thank you so much. It's been such a long time coming. I'm so happy that it's finally out there.
So you're like still feeling good and everything. I mean, you'd think you'd be hitting a wall or crashing it.
Yeah. I mean, I think I do. Maybe I regret a little bit putting out an album around the holiday season. That was a lot to juggle. But it was worth it. I've been sitting on these songs for a while. I already had the record ready to go before the pandemic hit. And then when it hit, I had no idea what to do. And just kind of had to reconfigure and figure stuff out. But it's finally out there. Super, super proud of it. And just, again, just so happy that it's out there for the fans to enjoy.
One of the things that you do I loved about it is you write about real life on there and songs about joys and sorrows and things that love, loss, and I mean, just a little bit of everything in between. It's kind of like that smorgasbord. I love that word, of a little bit of everything on an album that everybody can relate to. Music fans, Americana fans, country music fans of all taste out there. A lot of work went into it. And just, I guess, tell me about your style of that real life approach and kind of all those things mixed up as we talked about there, because you really put a good bunch of flavors out there. It's a good menu of songs, if I can say.
Yeah, I think, for me, I think as an artist, I guess you're always trying to kind of pin down that, what is my sound? What is my genre? What have you? And that's always been a tricky thing for me because I think I kind of fall into a couple of different things. I kind of go into that kind of Americana world. I go into that country world. I go into the blues world, funk world. It's just kind of a mix mash of stuff. And I think at a certain point, I just kind of figured, well, I'm just going to make music, and wherever it falls, it falls. So, I wanted to touch on various different subjects in this record. And I think probably the overall takeaway from it would be to not take things for granted. I think a lot of it, especially after, the last couple of years, I think now when I listen to the record, that's the main message that I take away from it. It's just, you never know what you have until it's gone. So to me, that's kind of the main theme running throughout it.
Mm-hmm.
One of the songs that stood out to me a lot was High Enough. And just the feeling in it, and then ripping the guitar at the end, right, and you're just like still jamming out to it, and it felt so good. So it was also perfectly placed. It's like right in that spot where then you can.
I'm glad you said that, because we were trying to figure out where to put that song, because it is probably the outlier in the record, and I've always had people tell me to kind of lean into my bluesy side, and it's not typically day to day. I don't typically just write straight blues stuff. I'm kind of more in that singer songwriter vein, but. I wrote that with my good friend Sarah Potenza, and Sarah is a powerhouse of a singer. And there's just, when you get the two of us in a room, I don't think you're going to get, a much different sound than just a really, sing your heart out kind of song. And I took that song to my band, and my good friend Rhett Scholl put a just blistering lead solo on it. I'm glad that you said it's in the right place though, because I still didn't really know.
It's a good groove to get into, right? Like
nice.
Breaking it up a little bit, and that leads into my next question: was how many of these songs have you been able to perform live with what has been going on? I mean, have you been able to kind of celebrate this record live?
So the thing about this record, like I said, I'd already had it recorded, before the pandemic hit. So the main thing I was trying to do with this album was, me and my band have been touring these songs for years now. Some of these songs are 3 or 4 years old. So we really kind of battle tested them on the road. And the main thing I was trying to achieve is to get that same energy that's on the stage with us when we play these songs into the studio. And I think it worked. We've played every song on the record live. I know most of them, maybe one that we haven't just worked into a set, but that's, again, just because there are no sets right now.
Well, there's no doubt about it. There's a lot of great energy on this record.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. And so much is it leads off, and I always say the songs that really kind of set the tone for it. And I'm going to go over this one too, but I tell you what, let's have you play one here
sure.
for us on the show here. Of course, it's the Backstage Pass. You can check him out at noahguthrie.com. And the one I'm referring to, we're going to talk a lot about. He may play this right off the bat, but Hell or High Water was something my daughter was playing out to in the truck this morning. So first up, it's your choice, brother. Whatever. I love
it. You know what? I mean, now that you told me that's one of your favorites, then I think I will try to play that one.
Oh, awesome.
All right, here we go. Love it.
He hung around for a while, made a claim on a life he swore would never change. She watched him fade away. She didn't call for a while. He counted on time to do his thing. She watched him fade away. Blame your own decisions. You can blame it on a million things. Childhood is ended and you never got a chance to grieve. And he said, hell or high water, I'll be running for a long, long time, long, long time. Hell or high water, I'll be running for a long, long time. First he needed a break to loosen up, shake out his feet and start moving. Oh, just keep moving. Then he needed some time to sort it out, draw a hard line to stand behind. Or what do you believe in? 20 years comes and goes before you can even speak. Sometimes risking it all can feel like the safest thing. And he said, hell or high water, I'll be running for a long, long time, long, long time. Hell or high water, I'll be running for a long, long time. Now Now he's choking on his words, 'cause he finally heard that getting older is just another term for surviving. Hell if I water, I'll be running for a long, long time, long, long time. Hell if I water, I'll be running for a long, long time. He's been around for a while, body's aching, hands are shaking. He begins to smile.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-hosts Kirsty Krause, Jeff McMahon, and Karen Lee Batten as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And doing that here with the South Carolina-based singer-songwriter and a guy who's rose to the top very fast and writing songs at 14. Man, I think I was outside playing baseball at the age of 14, 46 or something like that. But very talented individual. He's going to join us at CRS, and we're glad to have him today here, of course. Noah Guthrie back here on the program. The new album out there is called Blue Wall. And, of course, you just heard Hell or High Water. It leads off the album right here on the program. Back here with Kirsty Krause. Our thanks to Bangtail Whiskey and, of course, Hank Jr. Productions and MitchMax.com for the official Backstage Pass merchandise. Fantastic song. Commend you guys so much for leading off that album the right way. And, man, give me more on this. I want to dig deeper with this one because how did it come to life? How was it born? And a fantastic performance.
Thank you. So Hell or High Water. Hell or High Water is a song about it's about growing up. It's about it's kind of a coming of age kind of thing. It really came about usually I write most of my stuff on an acoustic guitar before I take it to the band. And this came about I had a few days off the road at the time and just decided to spend it locked up in my house writing some music. And this one I wanted to get a lot more songs done in that time, but this one was the only one I got done. But it was just I could not get it out of my head. Every time I would put it down to take a break from it, I couldn't get it out of my head. So I thought that was a good sign. And I just kind of chased it down. I think it really just kind of reflects where I was at the time. I was just trying to figure out, where does my music fit? Where what do I want to give the world? What is, my purpose? As cheesy as that is, but that's kind of what the song is about.
I love it. And then also, Brandon started talking about this, but at the age of 14, you had taught yourself guitar. You were writing songs.
Not well.
Well, talk to us about that time. And then by the fast forward, you're 18 and playing 200 shows a year. Like, how are you able to manage?
Yeah. So I kind of grew up. I grew up listening to a lot of music, but I grew up around music. My dad and my stepmom were both studio singers at a local studio in upstate South Carolina where I live, and I was just in and out of the studio. I was watching people come in and out and record songs and write songs, and again was just always around it, and I think I got the bug kind of early, and there was. At one point, I wanted to be a magician for some reason, and then after that, that wasn't the most popular thing to be going into high school. So I kind of switched veins back into music, and started singing in bands. Had a band, like a funk blues band, with some of my best friends, and just really. I think that's when I started playing music, when I started writing music, when I was teaching myself guitar. That's when I opened up more. I was a pretty shy kid. I'm still pretty shy, but back then I was really shy and just couldn't. I don't know. I couldn't express myself the way that I could through music. So once I found that, that was a whole nother world that I felt in control of. That's kind of how I got started.
Cool.
Too. Good stuff there. And the album is Blue Wall. You can check him out at noahguthrie.com out there too. I tell you, man, a lot of things on there that I love so much, including that title track. And then another one that came to mind for me that I just really found could resonate with, Things to Fix, which is the third song on there.
Nice.
Talk about that one a little bit. I love that.
Yeah.
I hearted that one.
Oh, I'm so glad. I'm glad. Because I may or may not be playing that one next.
Okay.
It's okay. I'll listen to it again later.
Great. Fantastic. Things to Fix is one of my favorites off the album. And I wrote that with a really good friend of mine, Maya Sharp, and she's in Nashville. And I met Maya, and we just instantly hit it off. And I think every time we get together and write a song, it's always one of my favorite songs. And this was the first one we ever wrote together. And I think at the time, I don't know. I had found out the day of our co-write that I was going to open for Willie Nelson the following week, and I was just super stoked. And I was telling her that, and she was like, "Well, let's write something that Willie would be proud of." And we tried to do that with Things to Fix. And it's it's a short and sweet song. I think it's like 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and it's just. I don't know. I wouldn't change a thing about it on the recording. It was one of those songs when we got in the studio, we just kind of flowed through it naturally. My buddy Rhett put a great, beautiful kind of slide resonator part on it. And it was just, again, just nothing I would change. So I'm really, really happy with that one.
Loved it too, no doubt. Just a lot of good stuff on there. And one of the ones I kind of was definitely finding myself connected to out there. There's a lot of the great music out there. The album is Blue Wall across all the digital platforms. Let the Damn Thing Break. Let's talk about that one a little bit.
Yeah. So, I actually wrote that one. I wrote that one during the pandemic with just all the news and stuff that was going on at the time. I was just super I just couldn't get out of a rock and roll mood. So I picked up an electric guitar and just, went to work on it. And I remember I emailed that one to my band and I was just like, should we add this one like real quick? Is it too much? Like, what do you guys think? And they were just, all of us were just like, absolutely. Let's do it. Like right now, let's do it. Let's record it and do it. So, that one was I think the last one to make it onto the record. But it's just a straight ahead rock and roll song, and it's super, super fun to play.
No doubt. Hey, let me ask you this: were there some that you guys, and of course, always know musicians never rest on their laurels? There's always something else in the can that moves it forward and kind of move that needle another direction. Was there some in the can in putting together this album, Blue Wall, that you're saying to yourself, man, I got one in the can now that can make the next record, but that one that can make the next record could have made this record? Was there any songs you guys were kind of torn between a little bit?
Not a ton for this record. I mean, I think I definitely had some left over, but I had a pretty good idea of what I wanted to get done for this one. Again, we have been touring these songs for so long, and they just didn't have a home on a record yet. And we knew that they connected with people because we'd play them live, and people would come up to the merch show, the merch table after the show, and tell us, hey, this is the one. Like, you gotta release this one, or you gotta release this one. And I just knew that we had to. So I had a pretty good. I mean, honestly, if you were to look at one of our set lists from then, it would be the album, probably not in the same order, but it would be most of the songs from the record. So yeah, I had a pretty good idea in mind of what I wanted, but I definitely do have a few left over that now. I have been kind of playing them and A-Bing them, and they definitely could have lived on this record, no problem, for sure.
Awesome. Well, that knows. Speaking of touring, you've been over to Europe 5 times with your band Good Trouble. So what do they just love music? What are they like over there? I mean, clearly they
incredible.
Really receptive.
Yeah, very much so. I the first time I ever went, I think I played. I was playing the Netherlands and Germany, and those have been two very, very great countries for music for us. And when I went over the first time, I went over acoustic and just did acoustic shows, and ended up selling out, clubs and small theaters and stuff. And I was just so completely surprised because I just had no idea. I mean, I knew, I got a lot of my start on YouTube doing these cover songs and stuff, and kind of getting my name out there, and had some success with some viral videos and stuff. So I knew I had fans over there, but I didn't realize just how receptive they were. So I started playing these shows, and people just kept showing up. And one thing I had to learn was the audiences there are fantastic. They're amazing audiences, but they're extremely, extremely quiet during your performance. It's not like in the US where they're, hooting and hollering and stuff, and while you're playing. So, you're playing some of your songs, and you're looking in the audience, and you can see they're smiling, but they're all just like really looking
tentative.
Yeah, they're just they're absorbing everything you say. And then at the end of each song, they kind of erupt into applause or whatever. But the first couple songs, I wasn't sure anyone was liking it at all. So, but the first two went really well, and slowly brought a duo over, and then a trio, and then the full band. And each one has been just so lovely. It's two amazing countries. And I've gotten to play a little bit in Spain and Switzerland, and just just absolutely wonderful time.
Awesome.
Got a rapid fire question later on about Europe, and of course food is going to involve it. If you're a foodie, definitely talk food coming overseas there, because I've never been. It's one of those bucket list trips that I want to put together for myself and my family. Got some family in Germany. We got to go see one day, or at least travel over there.
Nice.
My daughter gets a little bit older, so pick your brain a little rapid fire later about cuisine and foods that make up the European dishes over there. What should we try? What should we avoid? So we'll talk about that a little bit later. Let's throw it to you for another one here. Again, NoahGuthrie.com, and Blue Wall is the latest album out there across all the digital platforms. And Noah will be with us at the CRS there at the Omni Hotel coming up there just a few weeks. In fact, look at February. We just finished 2022. February 25th at 10 o'clock in the morning, we'll kick off that too as well. Then, of course, February 25th at 10:30, Aaron Kinsey, another fantastic artist there too, as we're booking him up. CRS 2022 at the Omni Hotel, February 23rd to 25th. I still have December on the brain, Noah, because I'm like doing Christmas with my other family this weekend. So it's COVID stuff. So now we're exchanging gifts.
Oh, I
this
swear.
Weekend for what we didn't get to do back in January, because my brother had COVID. He couldn't drive in. We couldn't be near each other. So I'm doing Christmas this weekend. It's kind of weird, but
I know how it is. I swear we started. My wife and I started at Thanksgiving, and it just never stopped. It didn't stop until well into January. So I totally get it. You got to see everybody.
Yeah, you do, no doubt. Hey, let's have you play one more for us. We'll come back and do that rapid fire, and we'll talk a little songwriting and a lot more, and of course more to come there coming up on February 25th as we lead off our third day of coverage against Country Radio Seminar 2022. Noah, it's all yours, man.
All right, thank you. This is a song of mine called "Things to Fix."
Here we go.
Table leg, the back door latch, cabinet with a worn-out catch. Picture frame doesn't hold the nail. There's water underneath the floor. Window won't quite shut no more. Little drawers riding off the rail. There ain't enough hours in the day. Patch it up, dust it off, make it all okay. What I should have said, what I should have done. I keep skipping over number one on my list of things to fix. Give these faded walls a coat, clean around that folded note. Finally go out and get a ring. That key that I can never find, you blame it on my drifting mind. I can't seem to hold on to a thing. I work on something till it shines like new. Oh, but I can never think of myself to shine for you. What I should have said, what I should have done. I keep skipping over number one on my list of things to fix. Oh, every time the second hand ticks, I think of something else I might have missed. But the list is getting longer. I'm running out of breath, but I can't face it yet. What I should have said, what I should have done. I'm still skipping over number one on my list of things to fix.
Behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-hosts Kirsty Krause, Jeff McMahon, and Karen Lee Batten as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
And that is some good stuff there. And of course, we'll have our good buddy Brandon Bing join us there. Bangtail Whiskey, if you hadn't checked him out, man, I can't explain it to the actual. It hits your lips and you go down, and it's just a good flavor there. Bangtail.com, and of course, Easy Liquor, the app out there. You can get the purchase sent right to your door. Their online convenience when it comes to shopping. Also, thanks to Hank Jr. Productions, and of course, one of our other great sponsors out there too as well, doing so much for us out there. We appreciate that. And of course, Bangtail Whiskey and MitchMax.com. Don't forget Mitch Max, the official merchandise provider of the Backstage Pass. Kirsty actually got some. She'll be showing that at CRS. Back here with Noah Guthrie on the program. Things to Fix, another great song out there on the album Blue Wall across all the digital platforms. And be sure and check him out at noahguthrie.com. He'll be joining us February 25th to kick off day 3 of CRS 2022 there at the Omni Hotel. You talked a lot about that one too, man. So we definitely sum that up, how easy the feel of it and the connection that Kirsty and I had to that song too. I tell you another one on the record. I kind of mentioned earlier. was the title track itself. And I love the fact that you guys called it what the song was about, Blue Wall. Tell me about this one, kind of the feel. Did it kind of form naturally? Was this kind of a tough one to put together? And I know you love writing your music too. That's a great song. I love it.
Yeah. So Blue Wall. Blue Wall is another name for the Blue Ridge Mountains, and I have grown up around the Blue Ridge Mountains my entire life, and it's also, this song. The song is a song for my home. I live in a town called Greer in upstate South Carolina, and it's a smallish town now. It used to be a lot smaller, but this song is it's a song that I wrote for basically anyone that has grown up in a small town or has grown up around the same mountain range that I have. And one day I was on a hike with my wife, and we went to this place that I'd never heard of at the time, and now I've been there a million times. But it's called Blue Wall Nature Preserve, and I was just reading some history about it and stuff, and found out that Blue Wall was another name for the Blue Ridge Mountains. And it's a beautiful hike. It's kind of short, but it's a beautiful hike with these two ponds and this amazing view of the mountains. And I looked at my wife and I was just like, I'm gonna write a song about this place when I get home. I don't know, I just feel super inspired by it. And then I got home and started writing the song, and it turned into a song about my hometown and just kind of growing up here. And I tried to kind of cover the bases. I tried to cover the perspective of someone who loves it and would never leave, someone who maybe loves it but has maybe outgrown it, somebody that hates it. So I kind of tried to get in character for all of those perspectives. And it's the first song that I've written about my home that I didn't think was bad. So I was really happy when I got that one done, and it just felt right. I've always wanted to write something about my home, and every time I tried it, it ended up being kind of too sappy or too cheesy. And I've played this song for I knew the test would be play this song for my best friends, my closest friends who have also grown up around this area, and see what they felt about it. And they all loved it, and said that it was pretty accurate. So I'm happy about it. Yeah, I think Blue Wall is my absolute favorite on the album.
Oh, and then it became the title track. So
yeah, it's just got a good ring to it.
It does. It's a real one of the songs with a good ring to it. Hey, I'm going to go back to a little old school Noah Guthrie here. The Valley, which came out in 2017. One of my favorite ones on there was Pardon Me. Talk to me about this one here too as well, because I thought as you guys do a lot of the Americana kind of feel sound, that blues, that swampy feel we've talked about. How did Pardon Me come together?
Pardon Me, I wrote with Matthew Pearman Jones, and it's a song that I think, especially on the second album, I really did a lot of depressing songs, and I'm not exactly sure why. It's just one of those things, sad songs kind of come easy to me. But yeah, it's really just about a relationship that is a struggle all the way through. But yeah, I think when I wrote that song, I knew that it was something powerful. It's got a lot of kind of dark, powerful vocals in it. And it's been a fan favorite for a long time, and I actually haven't played it in quite a while. I probably need to put it back in rotation now that you bring it up.
Well, that's another one of those albums.
Yep. Yeah.
Nice, thank you.
Here for it too. And honestly, we may do a bonus song today. You never know here on the Backstage Pass.
Hey, who knows?
Carried away, and I always say dealer's choice, but she gets to have here. We may do a bonus one here too. All right, let's get into rapid fire, and if we do perform one, I always say, like I said, you'll get to do this. I loved also on that album, Calling Your Name was one of my favorites too. There,
it's another super depressing one.
Yes. Well, it's just when you hear good music, man, you just connect to it too.
I appreciate it.
And I thought a Beautiful Crime was one to listen to. For quite a while too. So another one that made that particular album for you out there. All right, let's get into a little rapid fire. Have a little fun. We might do one more performance here before we close the show. I always love to say this too. So I'm coming to Nashville for the first time since I probably was in my teens, I guess, or whatever. Don't really vividly remember it, but coming down as an adult and doing this show and having a good time. Going into food here, and I'm about to get to Europe here in just a second.
Okay.
But Nashville food. What do I love a little bit of everything. Kirsty's probably gonna take me out to some restaurants, whatever. But what's your favorite food in Nashville? What restaurant do you love to eat out at?
So I have a couple. Most recently, I would say Hawker's is really great. It's kind of an Asian street food type deal. But they do kind of a mixture. I think they do like a mixture of kind of Tex-Mex and Asian, but don't quote me on that. Okay. Also, one of my favorites that has been a favorite for a long time, and obviously, this is all with the caveat that you can always go the hot chicken route, but for me, there's a burger place called Pharmacy Burger. That's pretty big, but it's one of the best hamburgers you'll ever have. They do it. They just do it kind of differently. I'm not exactly sure how that is, but it's always just been delicious every time I've gone. So I would check out Hawker's. I would check out Pharmacy Burger.
All right, I like that. What you got for rapid fire? Because I'm going to go to Europe here in just a second.
Because your vocals are so out of this world and strong, and there's so much character in them, what do you do for caring of your voice, and how do you take care of it?
Well, to be honest, that's kind of a recent thing for me. Obviously I try to take care of it, but as far as warming up and stuff like that, I've really kind of gone heavy into that the last couple of years, and I'm still haven't found a vocal coach, and I'd really like to, but when I was a teenager and stuff, I was just imitating people, that I loved, and listening to my dad sing and shouting until it turned into something pretty. But it definitely is. It is definitely a thing you do really have to take care of. And for me, when I was touring a lot before the pandemic, I really had to. The hardest thing is staying quiet when you need to stay quiet. So for me, that's the hardest thing, because the van is full of my best friends in the band, and we're constantly cutting up and telling jokes and stuff, and it's really, really hard to go on voice rest, but you need to go on voice rest, especially when you're someone like me, because it's my style of singing is soulful and powerful, and while none of it hurts when I do it, it's just like it's a lot. I'm moving a lot of air. So you definitely, it's rest and it's water as the main two things.
Water. Yes. Yeah. Okay, cool.
There's big things there. All right, before we're gonna do a bonus track today. Europe, when I get over there one day, and the cuisine, is there stuff to like? There's the fan favorite stuff or the must have, and then there's stuff to avoid. How would you describe Europe's cuisine?
So, obviously, because you've asked me, I've blanked on a lot of the actual names for things. But obviously, you need to try schnitzel. I love it too. I think spätzle is another thing you need to try. They sound very similar, but they're very different. And then obviously, any kind of like sausage meat is the way to go. And and what you can do, you need to go into a bar or a pub or somewhere and just say that you want a big Pils. So they'll give you a really big Pilsner beer, and it's going to be cold and it's going to be delicious. It's not going to be like a craft beer, but it's going to be a delicious Pilsner Pilsner beer. But we would go in after shows. We would go in, and I think because they knew that we didn't speak German, they would just kind of look at us and just like, big pills, big pills, big pills. And we're just like, yeah, big pills. and that was pretty universal every bar that we went to.
That's funny.
I like that, no doubt. So big pills, when I go over there, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
They should, unless they're just all screwing with me, then I'll feel bad for sending you the wrong way. But I think they'll understand.
I'll be sure to get back with you on that too as well. And not going anytime soon, but if it is something I end up doing, man, we're going.
You'll love it. It's a beautiful place. You'll love it.
Good times over there. Well, let's do a bonus track again. The album is Blue Wall, and you can check him out at noahguthrie.com. And of course, Blue Wall available across all the digital platforms out there. And don't forget, if you like whiskey, hey, 90 proof Florida handcrafted whiskey out there, bangtail.com. And, of course, our good friends over at Mitch Max and Hank Jr. Productions. You can also check out easyliquor.com and get that bottle. And I love saying that, too, as well, because that's most good whiskey is that 90 proof Florida handcrafted whiskey out there, too. And big pills if you're in Europe. There you go. So, brother, it's all yours. And one final track. We'll come back, wrap up maybe a question or two, and definitely looking forward to reconnecting again at CRS 2022.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
So you got it. It's all yours.
Thank you. This is a song off the record. This is called "Only Lot I Need."
Go.
Honey, turn off the news. All it does is break glass, cut my ears. I don't want to hear it anymore. If you don't want to hear it anymore, I'm taking signals from you. Let's make a getaway fast so no one hears. I don't want to be here anymore. If you don't want to be here anymore, 'cause the rain's relentless, well, so it seems. And all the fighting senseless, turning friends to enemies. We're looking for the sunshine, buried in the headlights. But honey, you're the only light I need. So can we just slow down, let the candle burn out? Honey, you're the only light I need. Baby, let's get lost. Just take a deep breath, close our eyes. We've been standing in the smoke so long. Standing in the smoke so long. And the fire's relentless, so it seems. Maybe these burning bridges are just setting us free. We're looking for the sunshine, buried in the headlights. But honey, you're the only light I need. So can we just slow down, let the candle burn out? Honey, you're the only light I need. Sunshine, buried in the headlights. Honey, you're the only light I need. So can we just slow down, let the candle burn out? Honey, you're the only light I need. Honey, you're the only light I need. Honey, you're the only light I need. Honey, you're the only light I need.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-hosts Kirsty Krause, Jeff McMahon, and Karen Lee Batten as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass.
It has certainly been a real pleasure today on the Backstage Pass for our third interview of the day with Noah Guthrie playing his song Only Light I Need. That is amazing. And of course, thank you to our sponsors, Mitch Max, Bangtail Whiskey, and of course, Hank Jr. Productions for making all of this possible and supporting us. We certainly do appreciate it. Noah, that was beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Notes, there are money notes in there, and both Brandon and I look up backstage and we're like, oh.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, you know an album, you know an artist when you sit there and play it, and your kids dancing to everything this morning. And of course, I used to DJ radio back in the day when it was Americana music, and not gonna find it as good as Noah Guthrie out there right now when it comes to. I say that, but there's such a cross genre of so many things he can do with his vocals. It's amazing. She's right. I just sit back and go, damn, he's good. God, he's good. No doubt. And can't wait to hear it in person February 25th, leading off day 3 of CRS. Bring that guitar.
Absolutely.
We'll definitely have you play for that day, too. All right, a couple more rapid fire. Let's do this real quick. Favorite cartoon growing up? What did you enjoy?
Oh, man. Probably, man, there's a lot. Probably Angry Beavers might be in the top. Honestly, I know.
This is not what I thought you were saying.
I know.
Me neither, but it's good.
But also like also Hey Arnold and I mean, God, I watched so many of them.
I mean, I can't judge. I liked Ren and Ren and Stimpy? Is that
yeah, Ren and Stimpy. I think I think I might have been a little late for that one.
Yeah.
Just a hair late.
Yeah. That's funny. My rapid fire question. How many guitars do you own now?
Honestly, not as many as most musicians, and I'm kind of bummed about it. Let's see. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
This is the music room I'm taking.
Yeah, I think I own 8 guitars, 7 or 8 guitars now, which it's enough, but it's not. It's really not.
That is enough for one person. I don't understand why people need 14 guitars.
Oh, because they're all different and they're all wonderful in their own way.
Look at me, he's already pleading his case.
I love it too, man. Well, definitely looking forward to hanging out there. CRS 2022 coming up at the Omni Hotel February 23rd to 25th. And yes, February 23rd is my 42nd birthday, so we get to spend it with Noah and the fine folks at Aristo. And, of course, thank you, Christy Watkins and Taylor, Rachel Hobbs, and, of course, Matt and everybody there. Coming up here in a few weeks on the show, looking forward to connecting with so many great artists. Monday, John Schneider drops by here. Yeah, you know him from Dukes of Hazzard, Mr. Bo Duke. We're going to talk about one of the best projects he's working on now. And, of course, actress. She's done it all, fitness model, everything. Brooke Burke is going to stop by here in a few weeks. The artist Fillmore is coming on. Ryan Griffin and a whole lot more here. Just looking forward to this. And also, February 10th, the legend, the icon, John Michael Montgomery is going to stop by here on the Backstage Pass. A whole week of shows. Looking forward to that at CRS 2022 with Kirsty and Jeff. The album is Blue Wall, and check him out at noahguthrie.com. Noah, we appreciate the time and looking forward to connecting here just a few weeks at CRS. Thanks so much for being on. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
it's going to be awesome. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
You got it. Check out the album. You get addicted to it like Kirsty and I did, no doubt, and get it across all the digital platforms. Thanks to the sponsors. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Might be a surprise on the show. We're still waiting on some confirmation from that. But, of course, next week, John Schneider with us January 24th. And my good friend Ash Taylor is going to stop by. She's got some new things going on in her camp, too, as well. Looking forward to that. We'll talk to you guys soon. Also, next week, Outlaw Fantasy. And I should have got Noah's opinion on the football games coming up this weekend. Is there going to be a clear-cut path to the Super Bowl? Is it the Packers, Noah? Is it the Packers?
I mean, honestly, I'm much more a college football fan, but I would probably root for the Packers.
It makes the lady in the middle very happy. She's from Wisconsin, so definitely. And Jessie G, her husband is from Wisconsin. She was just talking about that on the show, so definitely we'll connect with Jessie G at CRS. But she's also rooting for the Packers. And this year, she told us on the show, she sang the national anthem at Lambeau Field. So because Jessie G did that, Green Bay will probably win Super Bowl 56 in Los Angeles, California at the SoFi Stadium coming up February 13th. So a big month coming up for the Backstage Pass and so much more. We'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow on the show, definitely Monday for John Schneider. Until then, have a great night and a great weekend. We'll talk soon.